And here's the thing that I'm talking about, which is cracked. But what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode from BackYardBoyz. If you guys are new to the channel, please lightly tap the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications. A lot of you guys actually been asking me and saying, hey Tim, where's the Dodge Viper? So we're back with the Dodge Viper, and many of you guys possibly know, or anyone that rebuilt semi-exotic or exotic cars, parts are pretty hard to get a hold of, especially parts like OEM parts like this one over here. So we got a fender for this car. This is an OEM fender. We got this piece over here. I think it's used, this one bottom here. This is a brand new fender. And a couple more pieces we actually got for the car. We got this front piece right here that the bumper mounts onto, and then we got this over here. So basically, as you guys can tell, this thing is completely smushed up, and by the end of this video here, this car is gonna be ready for paint. So that's kind of just the gist of labor in this video. So what we're gonna do is pull this piece out, and 95% sure it's gonna snap, because as you guys can tell right there, it's already cracked and basically gone. So what I'm gonna do is pull this out with the frame machine. That's why it is on the frame rack right now. Pull this out and it's gonna crack, most likely break off. Regardless if it does or doesn't, I do have to weld it, measure everything, and make sure everything fits, all the gaps are set. We do also have a brand new headlight for the car, and everything should be looking good. This is gonna be kind of a pain to put on because we gotta go ahead and somehow rip off this old one without breaking that over there. You guys can see the glue right inside there. Kind of funky system, but I think Corvette have the similar system, and just exotic cars, man, less weight, less everything, and you know, that's kind of what they're trying to accomplish here, weight to horsepower ratio. So what we're gonna do is set you guys up on a time lapse, go ahead and yank this puppy out, and I'll update you guys to see if that's gonna rip off or not. Also, we gotta flatten this bracket out, make sure that is all OEM and looking clean. Once that gets welded up, we're gonna paint it and make it look good, assemble it, see how the whole thing is. Also, we do have a little problem with the rear suspension over here. As you guys probably saw in the reveal video, this wheel was turned out all the way, and I took a good look under there. I don't even know what is bent. It's weird because I just kind of examined everything and everything seemed to be fine, but the wheel is straight right now. We tightened the, what's it called, the tie rod. We kind of, you know, twisted it out to make the wheel align as straight as it can, but it makes some kind of a little crunchy noise when it rolls. So we're thinking maybe the wheels are too big, so we're gonna refinish the factory wheels just so we have the factory set whenever we do go to sell the car. Obviously, a factory set of wheels is nice to have, and we're gonna try to figure that out. Possibly take off the two rear wheels and kind of look in there what is bent at all. But guys, let's go ahead and start working on this. All right, guys, well, when I had to pull this piece out, it basically broke off from this right here, but this was still holding it on down over here. But I pulled it all the way off because I want to get it into its proper position and reshape all of this, make sure it's all in excellent condition. Went ahead and took off all this glue. Guys, that is some insane strong glue right there. Hopefully I can pull this one off without damaging anything, because that's also carbon or fiberglass or composite or whatever that is, I'm not sure. So I gotta peel it off from there, and I gotta do that before anything, because in order for me to measure where this goes right here, and where that goes actually, I gotta make sure it's all mocked up properly. So let's go ahead and pull this off right here before we do any welding or anything. Alright guys, well, it is the next morning here. Last night it actually got pretty late on us. It was about, I'm gonna say 1 o'clock at night, and it was just kind of allowed to be hammering and welding. And it is the next day here, as you guys can tell. So basically what I did last night was kind of just roughly mocked up that under piece, and we do have the bumper and this fender. We're still not sure what to do with it because there's just so much pressure going on right over here that if we can find a good fender and sell this one, that's probably what's gonna happen. So we're not too sure about that just yet. But my job is to get this all mocked up, and basically I already did that, but this headlight bracket needs to come down just a hair, maybe like a quarter of an inch, and that's gonna actually give the gap right over here, because the gap has to be the same as the fender. So fender gap, and then it's kind of hard to tell because his headlight's tinted out, so it has to go like that. So this basically headlight needs to go down just a tiny bit. I did straighten out all of this. This is all looking good, and then once it's ready to weld, I'm going to clean up this edge right here and weld it back on. But I'll have to mock everything up, make sure everything fits before I do any welding whatsoever. Went ahead and fixed the gap up here. There's no screws or anything here, so gap up here looks pretty darn even. Everything is nice and floating how it should be. This right here is going to come up like that, and it looks good. This gap right here looks good on this headlight because this is a brand new fender. So I mean, nothing here was actually damaged besides the fender was chipped from transportation. The guy ripped the bumper off and it ripped the fender, but there was no damage here. So what I have to do is pull everything back apart, pull this headlight out, shift that bracket, whatever that thing is, just down one more time, mock everything back up, make sure everything fits on nice and neat, and then go ahead and weld this puppy on. So tag along and let's get this thing tackled out. Alright guys, well, after some further testing, went ahead and moved this bracket forward just like I said I would do, and everything is lining up nice and perfect all around. And here's the thing that I'm talking about, which is cracked. But so headlight sits in its position nice and perfect. Gap right here is all the way nice and even all the way through. Everything's looking good here. This gap is even. It's missing some bolts here, so it'll go down a little bit, but I know I can set that gap 100%. This gap all the way through is looking nice and even as well. Go ahead and boom, right there. This whole front end is basically like gapped out. Like all the gaps are perfect on it. Now what I got to do is go ahead and mock this little thing up there right here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this off, this corrosion, whatever that stuff is. Mock it up. It goes like this under the headlight. Mock it up, tack weld it a couple of times, make sure it's in its position, make sure it's nice and sturdy, and then pull everything back off, weld that nice and neat. And then after that I can glue on this lower fiberglass bracket. I got some good stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and glue that puppy on, make sure it holds for good. And I'm actually not doing the repairs on the fender and on the bumper, so the paint shop's gonna do that. But let's keep working. All right guys, well anyways, I have got my final measurements in, and as you guys can tell, I do have a laser right on that rebar or whatever you want to call it, which just kind of shows me the exact level all the way through, and I'm going to weld it back onto its level. I went ahead and unbent all of this, make sure it all fit, and what I have to do is clean up all this rust and all this garbage over here, make sure I get good welds, solid, and then I have some self-tapping screws to kind of show me where to navigate this piece back into its position once I do glue it. I'm going to put probably one more self-tapping screw somewhere down there. That way I have like a wide variety. That way it kind of slips into its 100% position and no mistakes over there. So guys, let's go ahead and clean all this up. I'm going to go ahead, put this at its level, tack weld it, and then measure in the headlight one last time. And we're gonna go from there. Basically, we did just order a brand new OEM fender, which is near $1,000, but we want to get this car done, so let's get working. What's up?
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right, well, went ahead and welded that sucker on. Everything looks good. That just fell. Went ahead and painted this thing, make sure there's no rust anywhere. It looks really good, honestly. I am very impressed, and I am ready to glue this piece back on right here. I do have glue that sets pretty fast, so I'm gonna go ahead and use some helping hands and put this into its position, which goes like this. We're gonna slap some glue right here, slap some glue on under here, or maybe just on here, and then put it into its position, tighten down our self-tapping screws, make sure this thing cures, and then we can pull out the screws and basically reassemble this thing and take it to the shop. Guys, it's been about an hour or so. Things are getting cured up. I went ahead and pulled out the self-tapping screws, except for I left one right there. I'm probably gonna pull it out in a little bit, just make sure it glues up nice and stiff. Everything, I went ahead and painted this thing right here, got all the rust away. Everything's looking nice and OEM. It's just super nice how it all came together. Very, very happy. And now we're gonna put the headlight in, put the front bumper on, put that piece on right there, put the front bumper back on. Basically, this thing's out of here for the day. I mean, oof. Pretty pumped to get this thing painted and see how it does on the road. We did actually get the original wheels fixed, and now we're gonna get some tires on them and slap those wheels on, and we're gonna take it to alignment. But that's probably gonna be the next episode, so let's get the front end of this car finished up. All right, guys, well, that is gonna be the end of this video for the Dodge Viper. In the next episode, it's gonna be all assembled, and we're gonna be starting to put it back together. It's gonna have different wheels. It's gonna have the factory wheels, most likely painted in or powder coated in black. But as you guys can tell, the whole front end is technically all assembled. Besides that, fender is chipped up and the front bumper needs to be repaired, but all the gaps are set. Everything is looking nice and pretty. Right now, what we're gonna do is go ahead and load up onto our flatbed and haul it down to the paint shop. But that is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching till the very end. I appreciate all the love, all the support, and don't forget to like this video. Peace out.